Introducing new Moth Be Gone. Welcome back to WETT The Splash, the home of all your naughty little secrets.
We are live from the scene of the accident, and the death toll has climbed to a staggering rate.
Welcome back. We're here, Black Tie CBD. Use code THICK1 and you will get 10% off. You can also get Delta 8 at Black Tie CBD. And if you guys haven't fucked with that yet, it's like weed steroids. Remember, it was probably about 10 years ago is when I started seeing wax becoming like a big thing. Is when, that's when I started seeing people were getting like rigs. This was before you saw like the quartz bangers and stuff. It was just like regular titanium nails. People were putting holes in their arms and legs and shit on accident. And dabs were coming into the culture. And dabs were this like crazy experience where it's like pot on steroids, right? Well, Delta 8 kicks dabs right in the dick and calls it a little bitch. It is crazy. It's crazy. Where CBD is where they take all the part that gets you high out, right? Delta 8 is where they take everything but the high out. So
yeah, it's just pure, just in your face.
It's just getting stoned, and it's fucking crazy. And like,
damn, Delta 8?
Delta 8.
That's an appropriate name considering circumstances of
the
world.
but that's not. It really is. Luckily, Black Tie's not the one who named it. Yeah. Luckily, that's just what it's called, and it wasn't a choice by the company. Because then we'd ask for 15% in our discount code if that was the case, because we're putting our name on crazy shit. But but yeah, so you can get, and then here's the thing about Delta 8 too. Since it's super new and CBD is pretty much accepted everywhere, Delta 8 is accepted everywhere. So that means you can now pretty much buy pot online.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You can get high online.
Until they figure it out. It's
yeah. I think it's kind of like a vape, right? So back when vape became a thing, like it went from like a couple $1 million industry to a $3 billion industry within over a course of like a year. It was crazy because I knew a couple vape shop owners because I was working at the Hookah Lounge.
Got popular.
And you meet each other at these like wholesale markets and stuff, and like it grew so fast that the FDA couldn't really keep up with it to say whether or not it was good for us or bad for us. So by the time they were really able to look into it, it was like, oh, it's everywhere now, motherfuckers. And then now we're starting to see it getting really regulated over the last few years. Yeah. But vape's been around since we were 18, so that's at least 10 years.
Now,
but genuine. So I think it's just like vape exploding in before really any solid research can be done. Delta 8 can just explode in because it's being tagged with CBD.
That's true.
And here's the thing, bro. If you're going to get Delta 8, think about the quality of shit. No, I'm not even going to say shit because that's just my poor vocabulary. Think about the quality of product that Black Tie CBD puts forward.
Yeah.
They've won competitions. They've been on the cover of High Times multiple times. They've taken multiple cups and trophies and gauntlets and fucking doobie statues. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Scooby Dooby Pooby Award. He's got it. He's got a bronze Scooby Doo smoking 4 joints that he won from the Scooby Dooby Fest or whatever it was called. It's amazing. Yeah, like
it's so fucking funny though. Is it like an actual trophy of Scooby Doo?
It's 6 feet tall. It's bronze.
Oh my god,
it's beautiful. But so like it's thinking about like the quality that he puts forth, the company puts forth, with their CBD. You can only imagine that their Delta 8 is going to be like, fuck.
Yeah,
and you could get it for 10% off. So that's tax-free high. If you use stick 1, and that shit still works.
Yes, it does.
I don't know that they know, but it works.
Yes, it does. We recently used it actually.
Oh yeah, did you guys get yourself some CBD?
Some for the female. Yeah. And she really.
What did you get? Did you get bud or isolates or what?
We got her cartridge, the distillate, for vape, and then also just a regular CBD joint. You know,
Okay.
like it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good.
I
was impressed. You know,
there was this Latin family, Mexican family when I was delivering pizzas at Gugurgenspiegels, which apparently I'm still doing. And like I got their mom. She had tons of joint pain. Like, and she's kind of afraid of hospitals.
Sure.
I don't know why, but
some people are.
But so I suggested the topical cream, the Mary's Natural or whatever that they have on the website, and they fucking love that
great,
shit,
dude.
They get
salve,
they get
salve.
yeah they get like 2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah, dude.
Like it's to the point.
Scoop it.
It's like at the point like where the first like couple that she got, when she would get down to like the very end of the jar, she'd be like afraid to use it. She was like using it for emergencies. Like these are, because like we're talking like they're from like Sonora, Mexico. They're from the woods. Like we're talking when they get sick, they say a chant and they rub fucking vapor rub on each other. Like
do a fucking circle rain dance.
And she didn't.
Shit.
Yeah, and she didn't like doctors. So like this shit was like magic to her. So she was literally afraid to use the rest. When she would get to the end, she would like.
Interesting.
She was like, "No, if I need this, I need this. I can't."
That's wild.
Yeah, and I was just like, "No, like, just get more." And they're like, "We don't know how." And I'll just give me the money and I'll order it. I'll use the promo code myself. God damn it.
You know.
Yeah. So
is that like bliss in some way? You know, to be that like
the middleman on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like when you're from the perspective of them from being like not. I don't want to say the word necessarily ignorant or of the world as far as like tech and like the greater medicine stuff,
There's an ignorance, but it's not being used like in a derogatory sense.
Yeah,
ignorant doesn't always mean bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I just it's just weird.
Yeah,
because
you're not saying like, oh, they're ignorant, because that has some spice on it,
It seems aggressive. And I don't mean it in an aggressive way.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like
and it's like. You're just not really been ever involved in that kind of environment.
Yeah,
or stuff.
There's probably a better word for it, assimilated.
Yeah.
They're like he was born here, my buddy, and he's like the child, like, so they came later. You know what I'm saying? So they grew up in Mexico, like they barely even speak English to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So of course they're not used to this. Like they're literally. They came from like a poor city, like they were.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So they don't fucking.
I was imagining like regular, like not regular, like modern people in California.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was like, what?
Yeah, okay. That's true.
Sorry, I didn't make the connection.
Yeah, no, we're talking
different country.
We're talking about my coworker like goes to Mexico 3 or 4 times a year. Like and like they mostly try to stay there. Yeah, they love it.
That's a different world over there, man.
Yeah, yeah. Especially where they go. So that shit is really good. So if you're gonna try Delta 8, go to Black Tie, dude. Like, I want to try. Maybe we should. Like, I'll order some Delta 8. Fucking
honestly,
why not?
They're probably gonna be amazing. Real talk.
Yeah. And like we know they're not listening to this shit.
I mean, maybe. Who knows?
We're almost 10 minutes into like almost pretty much an ad for them.
Yeah, not really anymore
It's
though.
It's not.
We're just forcing the segue back in.
Yeah. It's like usually we just we've been lying.
Yeah.
200 weeks in, and it's just like I'm always saying how great it is. I never tried the shit.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like today I'm genuinely like they're doing a great job, dude. I gotta see this shit.
Fuck
like,
yeah, man. Yeah, honestly, the CBD joint that we had was probably the highlight of the stuff that we got from them.
Yeah,
excellent.
Well, maybe what we'll do is I'll order some Delta 8 and we'll try it on the show.
Sure.
And then if it's a cool time, like maybe we can like put together a little clip and send it to them.
Yeah.
And then they can, and maybe they won't take away the sponsorship.
And see what bullshit happens.
Yeah.
What if it's terrible?
Yeah, we get a cease and desist letter.
Yeah.
Like, all right, come on, guys. We didn't even know you were still doing this. I thought this was Harvest Masters.
I already have a hard enough time speaking while high. Clearly.
Yeah. Oh man, I just get into really long ad reads when I get high. That's for sure. But all right, so Black Tie CBD Thick 1, 10% off, or your mother. Let's make some announcements. We are a little less than 90 minutes away from the live show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you heard this last week, this was supposed to come out the day after the live show, and it got postponed because Mr. Country forgot to bring his time machine with him to record sound. So, like, no shit. The countryside was the one who fucked up on the technicals.
Be fair. All right,
Yeah.
I get it.
No, I get it. I get it. I wasn't even mad when he said it. I was like, all right, whatever, dude.
I wasn't either. I was like, cool, that's fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's all right.
Yeah, I think we're going to have probably significantly less people there. But it's because I don't...
Maybe it's a Sunday now.
It's Sunday now, and it's a Sunday at noon.
It's the middle of the day.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. More people are going to be off for it.
Though we didn't... We probably should have pushed it again.
We should have been pushing it way more.
Adjustment,
we kind of just came out. We were like, hey, now it's this time. And
yeah. See, this is why we need an actual like social media, like somebody who can market us. You guys rather.
We have posts coming out every day, but they're all scheduled. So it's like it's just bullshit. Like, and then
way more to it.
We should have. Well, we should have remade the banner. And change the time on it. There's a lot that could have been done with that, but we'll see. We're 90 minutes away. It's still going to be fun. There's still definitely going to be a turnout. There's still $50 on the line. People will turn it on for $50.
Yeah, I mean, and there's probably going to be even more live streams afterwards.
Yeah.
Too,
and it's going to be an episode, which is great. But it's exciting. You know, we talked a lot about City Bumpkins last week again, and probably we'll have Cody on this show as well soonish. Just because we got to talk about it. We're excited. It's fun.
Yeah, honestly, the nice thing about City Bumpkins too is that it's growing the technology for tats.
Yeah.
Like I think at some point we're going to be able to pretty much be ready to swap to video on a drop of a dime for tats.
Yeah.
Whatever that. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be a plan in the future.
Yeah, eventually probably will. I guess. I mean, I couldn't see why not.
You're already using it.
Yeah, we're sitting in the fucking. The whole stage setup for City Bumpkins right now would just be different
behind them.
Just different props behind us. In front of me, I guess, would be the only difference.
I guess we have to spice it up some way.
Yeah.
I mean, like, people on Discord can put opinions in, and see what they talk about.
I do like the idea, though, like, when we started podcasting a long time ago. Well, compared to some shows not a long time ago, it's been over 4 years.
Right.
All right. And
been a hot minute.
Yeah, when we started, there wasn't a lot of video shows. There were shows that were on video, sure, but the majority of podcasting was all audio. People were listening to them because it was kind of like a remix to a radio show in its own sense. Like, radio shows had these segments that were, hour and a half long, where people would be talking. Like, they had Love Line, they had all that kind of shit. Those were the original podcasts. And then these were, separated from the radio, but it was the same style. You took out the music. Mm-hmm. And one thing I always liked about it was that you have your own picture in your head when you're listening to somebody on the radio of what they look like or must be like. And if you never actually look up and see what they look like, you will have your own person eventually in your head that you've drawn out behind that voice. I remember, like, we grew up with 107.7 The Bone, which was like a classic rock radio station. And there's the hosts were Lamont and Tonelli, and then they had the super producer Sully. Mm-hmm. And in my head, like, listening to that every day when my dad was dropping me off at school, like, I had like a whole image to what these motherfuckers look like, and I was balls wrong. Every fucking aspect about them I was wrong. So I kind of liked that creativity to it, because this show has never been video,
right?
And now City Bumpkins is video, and it changes that. People they don't know what we look like, so they're making up their own. Like, we've had people.
It's true. The personas.
Yeah, like I've had some people thought I was black because my voice is so deep. Some people, I've had people think, like,
that's an interesting stereotype.
That's been the one I've gotten the most. I've gotten, like, I didn't know you were fucking, like, I thought people thought I was going to be bald. People thought I was going to be taller.
Because you had a deep voice?
Yeah, people thought I was going to be taller. Like, I just, like, I don't know, like, whenever somebody I've met has heard the show before, but they've never met me, they're always surprised by the way I look. Mm-hmm. They always have at least something, like,
it's like a double take.
Because they in their head they've created an entire image because they're listening to you so much.
It's true.
Because they know you so well.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
they know the person on the microphone. It's always different as far as content creation goes, I guess.
That's true. I feel like in this show I'm pretty honest.
Yeah.
I put on some more energy when I'm talking.
Yeah, well, because you're performing for your listeners. So there always is going to be some element of a persona.
Yeah.
But yeah, they know you tendencies.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you've been listening to the show for like a long time, which there's probably like a handful of long time listeners. Yeah, we love you.
Respect, dude.
But if you've been listening to this, especially since like the early days, you know me pretty damn well.
Yeah.
Because I've spilled out a lot on this show before. We've gone through a lot on this show. So I like to think I've been pretty honest, but at the same time, I'm not going to say everything. That would be absolutely wild.
Of course.
That would be absolutely wild. But
yeah,
the people, at least to a sense, they feel like they know me. They feel like us. They feel like this personal connection. Yeah. Because we're talking to them. We're in their head for so long. So I think that whole creating the image with your brain of who behind the microphone is really interesting. But now that we have City Bumpkins and it's on video, that illusion's gone, so we could just switch this to video.
I mean, assuming they go and pursue City Bumpkins, I guess, it would be kind of a no real point. But I'm sure we could skew it in some way or another to make an excuse to keep it audio or something.
I mean, if you love the show, go check out City Bumpkins, but stay here.
Yeah, for sure.
Check out both.
The
it's
evolution
different.
is growing. But to your point, I want to call out too, and I think it's really important. And I say this several times in off mic conversations. I think it was extremely important also to stay audio for as long as you did, because it helped you find It helped you find your stride. Yeah. When it comes to conversational comedy, or. Any kind of degree of being an entertainer. Really,
I always kind of harped on like that. I didn't like, because I was an audio consumer when it came to podcasting. Yeah, I was delivering pizzas, so I had all day to listen to podcasts. So I never was watching them. Now I watch them because I can't do that anymore. But so I would get on the fact that I didn't like when shows would like watch a video. Because they would just like
watch it.
Yeah, because you're not watching it for one, and two, if they're entranced in it enough, you don't even really know what they're watching. They're just listening to people giggle. Like Joe Rogan does the Fight Companions, and he's fucking awesome, and some of those are hilarious. But then, if you watch a Fight Companion and you want to know what's going on with the fight, like you're retarded. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You're supposed to have the fight on and then the audio of the Fight Companion. Because, like, there's no way they're going to describe to you all that shit. There's too much happening at once. They're drunk. They're getting stoned. Yeah. They're talking about their own shit. They're getting sidetracked in stories. So I just...
it's difficult to keep track.
Yeah, sure. So when it came to us being an audio show, I was just like, look, we need to survive on who we are, not on what's around us and what's on the screen that we're looking at. Like, we need to have the person listening be able to listen the entire time and be entertained. Yeah, maybe not always entertained because we're not that awesome.
There's some bullshit.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, we're gonna switch this to video though. We'll do that.
Well, I mean, again, like, it'd be nice to if folks who are listening and are on the Discord also, and if you're not on the Discord, you should get on the Discord.
Yeah, or wrap your car around a tree.
Yeah, or get on the Discord first so we have the numbers, and then wrap your car around the tree. Thanks.
Gotta grow the numbers.
But yeah, just I would say like it'd be nice to do a little poll, see what people feel. If a going video would be interesting or not.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because we can. I mean, it doesn't have to go video. We do need to go on YouTube, but yeah, it does. Yeah. We'll see what the people think. Yeah. That sounds fun. Word. So to wrap up, City Bumpkins, guys, go check it out. Word. It's a completely different show. Yes. It's not this 100%. It's
structured, segmented.
It's 2 shows a week. Both are an hour. This is 90 minutes. This is my kind of inner monologue, I guess. Yeah. This is just kind of me taking in the world and kind of spitting it back on this microphone so I don't blow my head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go literally fucking insane.
Yeah. This is my therapy that's free.
You're like a sponge and you're absorbing everything. And this is one place where you can like it just squeezed out and just, like ringed out.
That's the difference between an artist and a psychopath is the artist has the ability to spit it back out. Yeah. The psychopath, they both take in the world drastically as it's coming into them with like full force. and they hold on to it really deep. But then an artist will spit it back out and they'll present it to the world. And a psychopath doesn't have that outlet.
Yeah.
So it just builds. That energy just builds and builds and builds until it explodes.
So people who are creative or psychotic is what you're trying to say?
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying that people who have the creative mind but can't put it out are psychotic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well,
I guess never mind. I guess that's not what I was originally saying.
Yeah, because I'm not saying that like some like plumber is a psycho for not making art. I'm saying if an artist couldn't make art, they would go insane.
And they have the will to make art.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So insane people are artists that can't make art. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think that makes sense, actually.
That's quite a blanket statement.
That's blanket statements for dummies right there.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a completely different show, man. It's segmented. We have games. We have all sorts of shit that we do. It's so fun, dude. I love that show. It's really fun.
It's definitely Cody's vibe is so interesting too. He has a lot of value to I think your conversational style. You know? Because I just nod my head and go, yeah, dude. And then maybe you can have a decent like kind of quip to add to it. But you guys really, I don't know. It feels like he's a proper host, Yeah. And it's kind of good yin to your yang, really.
Yeah.
Like,
he's quick to the funny.
Yeah.
And like he can kind of like lob it up with like 20%, and then I could be like, oh, I like that. I'm gonna work off that, and then So it's really fun.
He's a good comptroller too.
Yeah. So that show's so fun, dude. And 2 shows a week, and those shows are different.
Yeah.
We're talking about 3 shows a week coming out, including Thickness in the Shine, all different types of shows. So if you're that kind of fucking crazy and you want to listen to 3.5 hours of me a week, I don't know, dude. That's too much. That's too much. Imagine when it's like recording all that. You fucking bastards.
It's a lot. I don't know how you do it. I
can't. It's like setting up these curtains.
Yeah, I couldn't talk for 3.5 hours nonstop.
Yeah.
And be consistent the entire time.
Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah. But it's fun, dude. I love this shit. Fucking boom. Hell
I
yeah.
thought you missed the button first.
Oh. All right. Do you want to pull up the Discord here?
Yeah.
So we've got some stuff in there. If you go into the interesting articles section.
Grab me mouse real fast.
Oh, yes. And what I'm going to do is open up Instagram here because we got a voice message as well. Okay, so go into the interesting articles tab.
Okay.
And scroll up one more. Okay, starts right there with El Chapo here. 2 arrested after 3 shot stabbed with swords at California pigeon race. Holy shit. So 2 were arrested, and then 3 were shot, and then people were stabbed with swords. And this is at a pigeon race. And we've talked about pigeon racing before and how real it is. So you know what I'm saying? This is the kind of gangster shit. This is the kind of gangster shit that happens at pigeon races. Yeah. Dude. And so this is what happens, right? There's a pigeon race event, and I think they're at the finish line, or maybe they're at the starting line. Because I think most people, no, they're at the finish line because the people don't go to the starting line. They put all their birds, everybody brings all their birds, and they put all their birds into like these trucks, and then the trucks take them to the start line, and then they let all the pigeons go all at once. And then the pigeons know where your home is, hopefully, and the amount that you get back and at what speed determines your score. So you'll send out 100, you'll probably get like 40 back, and hopefully within that 40 they get there pretty quickly, and that combination is going to give you how well you did. So like there's high stakes on these games. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of variables there, dude. Your pigeons can fly into a turbine. You know what I'm saying? There could be a guy. Yeah, there could be a guy, like, let's say it's from Reno to San Francisco, right? There could be a guy up in Sacramento in a real tall tree or a cell phone tower with a couple of net guns. And he could see the flock coming and just start netting them out of the sky, 13, 14 at a time. You know what I'm saying? There's all sorts of obstacles for pigeons. Seagulls. I'm sure that's a thing. Maybe they fight, you know.
You think there's like a seagull fights or seagull races?
Still not. Seagulls just disrupting the pigeons.
Oh, as being objects.
Yeah. Just coming in and fighting.
Seagulls
like,
are very aggressive.
having turf wars.
I can see it. I
Yeah.
can see it. They come flying out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then I don't know how
dude.
fucking necessarily how smart a pigeon is.
Are seagulls? Do seagulls have teeth like?
No, they
These
just got beaks. They're fucking assholes.
Yeah.
But
Irritating.
but so these people are at the finish line and they're waiting for their pigeons, and 4 SUVs pull up, and everybody steps out with guns and swords. Guns and
Why
swords. Yeah, right. Well, okay, so they come out, they shoot one dude, and one dude gets shot and stabbed. He gets stabbed with the sword in the neck, and they shot this motherfucker in the torso. And then another dude got one in a hip, and then finally the third person that was shot here got one in the foot. So they pumped out with knives and swords,
like a fucking
but
action movie, dude.
it sounds like they pussed out.
Action movie.
It sounds like they pussed out, like Malibu's Most Wanted. It sounds like they came up with a bunch of weapons to be scary, but then they got challenged.
Yeah. And
'Cause,
just got
you know,
their ass beat.
Yeah, because we're talking 4 SUVs worth of people that pull out with guns and swords, and only 3 people were shot. One in the foot, one in the leg, one in the torso.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They bitched out and then ran.
That or it was a targeted thing. So apparently the dispute was from a previous pigeon race. I don't know what happened. Maybe somebody was hiding in a tree with net guns or something like that, and there was rumors that somebody saw them. But so these motherfuckers, they must have gotten fucked at a pigeon race, and then they go to, they hear about the next one. Maybe they don't got enough pigeons to compete, or they're just like, nah, it's rigged. And then they pull up with just deep with guns and swords, and somehow hurt almost nobody. And only 2 of them get arrested. I don't know how only 2 get arrested. How many people were in all those SUVs?
Yeah.
Only 2 got arrested.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe 2 of them didn't actually open in their bluffs, and the 2 came out of the other ones.
Yeah.
Or something. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be a thing. Or maybe they all just took turns. You know what I'm saying? Like they were all standing in a line, and they sent 2 people up to do all the work, and then everybody else was just kind of there for protection.
Yeah,
in case shit pops off.
Intimidation tactics are definitely pretty effective for the most part.
Guns and swords. Bunch of
yeah.
Indian people with guns and swords.
I'd be a little freaked out for sure.
Yeah, they were Indian.
Like, whoa, dude, chill.
Yeah. The 2 that I got arrested were Indian. I don't know that about the rest of them that were in the SUVs. But I mean, yeah, dude, a bunch of Indian people, fucking.
Would you rather them shoot you or stab you?
Shoot.
Yeah, me too.
I would definitely rather be shot
Fuck
than
that sword,
stabbed.
dude.
Yeah, fuck that.
Sword.
Fuck everything about that.
Yeah,
No,
dude.
that sounds way more traumatic.
Yeah.
I think it's the act of entering my body and me seeing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's a lot slower, I guess.
Yeah, if I saw like a blade go into me, that's fucking way more traumatic than just catching a bullet that you didn't really see.
Or even they just do a slice and they just gash you open, in a spot, or they get you in the thigh and you just bleed out.
Do you think you have
some evil shit?
Do you think you have any chance of seeing a bullet when it's coming at you?
Of seeing it?
I know you can't. Yeah, I know you're not going to dodge it. I'm not an asshole, but seeing it, do you think?
I think if you'd have to be in line of looking directly from where the source is coming from, and then your peripherals might catch it, in a split second,
because it's going fast.
It also depends on how close you are, I guess.
Yeah, because it's going fast and it's tiny.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it would be almost like a glare.
I think
you would just see a speck real quick,
I feel like the human eye is fast enough to not see it HD, obviously.
Yeah.
And obviously not see it faster than a half or even less than that of it, a quarter of a second, know. But I think your peripherals would at least be able to catch up the outline of it, maybe just a ever so short glimpse of it, because the human eye is pretty fucking impressive.
It is.
I feel like it'd be able to. Superman shit where you could see it slow mo and you can catch it. No, you ain't doing that shit.
Well, I think
unless you're on a lot of drugs.
Well, okay, so because I'm wondering what I'm getting at is how much more traumatic is it if you see the bullet right before it hits you versus it just hitting you? I think it would almost make no difference.
I feel like the equivalent of that would be just seeing the gun pointed at you before you get shot. It's kind of the same.
Yeah, because that's the thing is with the sword. What would fuck me up would be seeing it going into my body, or a knife,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
well, like as much as like the pain is awful, the pain of being shot is equally, if not worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being shot, you could break a bone.
Yeah.
You could do way worse. Probably way. I don't want to. I don't want to say who could do worse damage, because if you're strong enough with a sword, you cut somebody's fucking head off.
Yep.
So,
That's true.
yeah, you could bash somebody's skull with a handle. You could do just as much with a fucking sword as somebody could do with a bullet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like I feel like even if the wound wasn't as bad, seeing the knife, the blade go into me would be worse.
Yeah.
Because that's the memory part.
It's a bigger wound for sure.
Because pain goes away eventually.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a little like remnants forever
Mm-hmm.
if you're old enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it was bad enough. But
Yeah.
like, for the most part, pain goes away. So it's really the memory that you're holding on to that's traumatic to you. So yeah, I'd rather be shot. Fuck that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be shot too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine the fucking being like a warrior back in like, you know, like during the Saxons and fucking wars with like Denmark and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like just the, because that was like back when you get slashed down on the side of your like rib cage or something, and you're probably just gonna like slowly die. You know.
Oh well, you're
from poison and shit.
I was about to say, even if the wound itself doesn't bleed out, there's no penicillin. Like you're just gonna die.
Just gonna get diseased and slowly fucking man. That what wild times it must have been.
Bro, I think about that.
Fight with swords.
I've been thinking about that for like a couple of months now. Like settlers shit.
Yeah.
Like late 1600 settlers.
Mm-hmm.
Just get you get a cut and you're just like, I would have died.
Yeah.
Like,
or at least like depending, I guess, where it was. Maybe on the hands it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
You know,
but like think back.
Torso and shit.
Think back. We're 28.
Yeah.
So think back at how many injuries you've had in this first 28 years that would have actually killed you. I've had a few. I've had deep enough cuts. I've broken quite a few bones. I've gotten pretty sick.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in things where like I've never been like hauled off in an ambulance.
Right.
But
I don't think so either.
But you could die much easier then.
Yeah, I'm sure
I've been
there's plenty
sick
of
enough I
times.
would have probably died.
Yeah. There's been plenty of times from just getting the common cold. I'm sure that would have eventually overtaken a lot of people. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah.
Ago,
I think a lot of people died was probably by their 30s, and most people died from disease or being like scalped, depending on where you were at.
I think it was like 30s, and then you could live to be older, you know, with old age and shit. That was a thing. But
that wasn't majority though.
It was not necessarily incredibly common unless you were in like a village that was not huge but big enough to like be able to have agriculture by themselves. You know, because then they can control population from getting too huge without proper sewage systems, you know, and shit.
Well, also, in that time, also, if you didn't have a big enough population to hold down your land, somebody was coming for your shit.
Yeah, you were getting it pillaged.
You're gonna settle by water, but only have like a tribe of 40 people.
No,
it's gonna be a different group. It doesn't matter who it is. Like if they got enough numbers, they're taking that land by the water.
Back then, and it wasn't even like this is ours now. We're just here just to kill all of you, burn everything down, eat all your food, and then we're just gonna bounce and go to the next village. Yeah, you know.
Like I remember learning about the gold miners in the 1800s in California.
Oh, yeah,
and there was claim jumping. Where you would buy a plot of land to fucking dig for gold, and then like somebody else would just come upon it, and they'd be like, "Oh, there's gold here," and then one of you would just kill the other.
Yeah,
and
steal the gold.
Yeah, and like
gold
if
fever,
it was
baby.
if it was your land, and you killed the guy, it's fine because he was trying to take your shit. And if you're the guy and you killed the guy whose fucking claim thing it is, then you win. That's your fucking plot now.
Yeah, it's true.
Now you get to get gold there. You know, like
yeah. I mean that was pretty much the American way for the most part.
Yeah,
is you just invade land and take it. You know,
I think that's
kind of what everyone's been doing.
I think that's the people way.
Yeah,
the Ottoman Empire, the Romans,
that's true.
The British,
that's actually always
the Japanese, the Russians are doing it right now.
Mm-hmm. Technically, somebody had it first when they found the land, and then everything else after that was just civilizations conquering each other.
I think that's just what people have been doing since we've gotten around. Is one group gets bigger than the other and decides that they have a better place to hang out, and they're just like, well,
This is cooler.
We're gonna take that shit. We could take that.
I mean, that was literally like the fucking.
We'll go in there. We'll kill all the men. We'll kill every boy over 13, and then all the youngest children can survive, and the women.
How the wars were between England and Denmark. I can't remember the years, but long time ago. The Danes, man.
Yeah.
Like it was just pure. We like your land. We want more of it because we need more agriculture, nice, beautiful lands. Die.
Yeah. Dude, I think
that's literally it, dude.
I think it's like Genghis Khan like killed everybody over like 4 feet tall.
Yeah. Oh, bro. Fucking yeah, dude. Like, bro.
Yeah. So I mean.
Oh my God. That guy was wild.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just the root and toot and shit people not even just Americans, that people do.
Yeah.
You know, since we've been around.
Yeah, 100%.
But
conquerors, dude.
But yeah, no, I mean, I definitely like thinking every now and then, like, that one would have killed me. Like, there's no chance of surviving that one.
It's so weird, man.
If this was like 1680, we'd have like 11 kids, 6 of which would have died.
Yeah.
Either at birth or shortly after.
Yep. Maybe you have one grandparent that made it to, and they're gotten pretty old and wrinkled.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe. Yeah. And
he's maybe one.
Yeah, they don't die of the syphilis.
Yeah, and
syphilis was killing motherfuckers crazy too.
Usually they were always inside taking care of the house, if not just not doing it at all.
Bro, because people fuck.
Yeah,
people fuck.
Well, yeah, of course.
So imagine
because everyone would die.
Yeah,
because they need to keep going.
Well, people fuck today too, like with the dating sites. Like, it's just what we do. It's literally in our nature. It's just like fuck. Make more people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
kill
like,
more people.
When there was no STD control or really even diagnosis, holy shit, people, that's not going to stop people from fucking. They don't really know about it.
No.
You know?
No.
Like,
back then, none of it, there was no territory for anything.
Bro, people know the consequences now, and they still like fuck raw and with strangers.
Yeah. So you maybe just being a savage barbarian that doesn't even really know what technology is.
Yeah.
You know?
And like the answer was like leeches.
Yeah, dude. Or like just like herbal bullshit that you find in a forest that you think is the plants that you saw from a book like 10 years ago.
Yeah, you're a doctor on a house call and this guy's dying in his deathbed. He's 1,000 degrees and you walk out the front door and he's got like dandelion weeds growing out.
Yeah.
You fucking put him into like a mortar and pestle like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Little gunpowder and a beetle or dead
early
cricket.
doctors. Yeah, and that's even sooner, like earlier than those kind of wars, like the Saxons and shit. You know, it's like early like medicinal shit. I wonder is like, was it bullshit or did they find herbs? Do you think that help soothe tummies and stuff and like that kind of remedy? You know,
I think they got some of it from some of the Native American tribes as far as like the combinations of the plants in the area.
Really. Yeah, that makes sense that they would really be like knowledgeable and like be like one with like a lot of the nature around them.
I mean,
there's
so many people and there were so many tribes and there were so many Americans, or quote unquote, who were there, settlers, that like there's no way that every time a white person met a Native American person that they murdered them or each other. Like, there had to be plenty of times where they were just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we know we know Christopher Columbus wasn't that guy for sure.
No.
But I think not all people are inherently evil. You know what I'm saying? Or every person is, but every person is also good. And they're choosing to lean into one or the other.
Yeah.
But not every person is leaning into evil, and not every person is evil. So
I always say that people are inherently capable of good or evil.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty much everyone across the board.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, and there was plenty of tribes that were super peaceful and friendly, and like there's plenty of people that were super friendly, so they had to have been learning from each other quite a bit.
At some point, and it's so interesting because like before the colonials came around, like Native Americans definitely lived with nature in the world around them, and then colonials very much like fucking terraformed. They tore shit down and built new things out of it, which is like it's such an interesting lifestyle, because like on one way you have the growing eventual birth of industry and technology, to get to where we are now. But on another, you have a more like much conservative, more efficient way of living with land, But you also don't really get to evolve as fast as far as industry goes, I guess.
Well, think about this though. Also, the Native Americans would hunt bison.
Yeah.
And they hunted them to nearly extinction.
Yeah.
Without that many of the motherfuckers even being around. How would they have survived if they would have stayed
yeah.
nomadic and kept growing?
Yeah.
They would have.
Well, I think they would have figured out agriculture pretty well.
They would have. Yeah, that maybe it would have been all vegans.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
they
that'd
would've-
be interesting.
they
What
were-
the fuck?
Because they were literally like they would run hundreds of bison or buffalo or whatever off a cliff.
Oh, Jesus.
And then-
fuck. What?
Well, because you can't. They're huge and they're body armored and like
Sure.
you got
sure.
spears and arrows and
Sure.
shit. But it's a lot easier to like fuck with them and then get them to stampede and then get them to run at you as you run towards a cliff and then bail and they all run off the cliff and die.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a tribe of like 50 people and 100 dead
yeah,
bison.
You can't eat all of them. Yeah.
There's no fridge or freezer system.
It's true.
You take whatever you want from one or two of them, and that feeds you for a month, and then the rest rots.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
They were also doing like
they
huge.
could dry the meat out, couldn't they?
No, they were fucking. They were just. It was just piling up. They hunted it to like 10%.
Yeah. I guess they didn't really need to because
I don't think they knew how.
What, to dry it out?
Yeah,
I feel like drying out would be able to figure. I mean, you're just stretching out the meat and.
I mean, even if they were doing that, they weren't doing. Even if they knew how, they weren't doing it.
Yeah.
Because they
yeah.
wouldn't. I think they wouldn't have.
Maybe they just never needed to.
There wouldn't have been the giant piles.
Yeah. Also, it's just like I wonder if.
Well, why would you eat jerky when you have thousands of
Sure.
thousands of pounds of fresh meat right there?
Sure.
You
And
know?
to them, in part, it seems like an endless supply because there's lots of them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You don't think
So,
about it. Like,
I guess that makes sense.
you know, I read this book that my barber actually had suggested to me a few years. It was called "Who Moved My Cheese," right?
Okay.
And it was about two people who were the size of rats, and then two rats, and all four were put into this maze, right?
Okay.
And the mazes are separate, but they're completely the same design. And they trudge through the maze. You know, the rats, they rely on instinct. So one sprints down like halls of the maze and then sends signals back to the one.
Sure.
And they find their way to the vault, and it's full of cheese. And then they just start going in on that bitch.
Yeah.
The humans, they're trying to use logic and philosophy to guide themselves. And eventually they make their way to the vault to find the cheese, right?
Right.
This is where this gets interesting. So now the rats are in their vault with cheese. The humans are in the vault with cheese or whatever means more to humans. And they're going through. It's pretty much an endless supply. Well, months go by, and finally that whole vault is coming to an end. The rats pick up on this, and they just decide to start exploring for the next one. Instinct says there must be another one, and they just start going. The humans, their vault, it starts to get smaller, and they start questioning why. Who's not bringing it? Who took it? Where is it coming? When is more coming? So they put it here before. Clearly, they'll bring more. And eventually, the rats find their way to the next vault, and the humans, being stubborn, stay in the vault until it's empty. And then while they're starting to starve to death, one decides that they want to start exploring for the next vault, and the other one is still stuck on, no, they took it from us. We deserve this cheese. We found the vault. They need to bring us this cheese. I'm not moving. I'm not exploring. I've done it before. They've put it here before. They'll put it here again. And the other one's like, we're going to die here. You know what I'm saying? And then the rats find the next vault. They got all their cheese.
Yeah.
Maybe the other human, I think, finds the vault eventually, the second vault full of cheese, and the first one dies.
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
like, to bring it back to what we were saying with the Native Americans, I don't think that they even considered that there wouldn't be more buffalo one day.
Right.
I think they're just like, look how many of these motherfuckers there are.
Right.
Like,
right.
holy shit, like, they're just everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think they cared. I think they were just like, oh, there's going to be more.
Yeah. No, that makes sense for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Association with the greater populace of the planet.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
really. The scale is much smaller.
Yeah, because
know?
you're really only kind of focused on your group.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, they were nomadic. They weren't even staying in one spot. They didn't really even care where they were at because they were going to move again.
Right. Right.
You know, so
right.
that's I can't say one is better than the other. I don't know how well or how long that would have survived, because eventually a different country probably would have decided to come take it.
Yeah, well, I mean, because like the styles were also different, you know, across the pond, so to speak. You know, as far as like cultural, like there was definitely like hints of industry growing everywhere in the Middle East and Russia and and like Japan especially too.
Oh yeah.
Like the concepts of agriculture or not, excuse me, architecture really was like the kind of building blocks of what I guess would lead it eventually to technology, really.
Yeah.
But,
so
yeah,
I don't know. It's hard to say one is the other or one is worse than the other.
I don't know.
It's also hard to say somebody else wouldn't have come and just took it. Because that's what we've learned from human time is that, if you can't hold it, somebody else will take it. That's why we have, once we took this country, we grew the biggest military this planet's ever seen, because if you can't hold it, somebody will take it.
Yeah, and it's like society has grown to a point now where it's more difficult to try and do country takeovers now, you know?
Well, there's a lot of paperwork now.
It's a different kind of, war now, I feel like now is starting to turn into more controlling of the actual, governments and the controlling of and sway of the countries.
Well, yeah, because you can't just, we're not lining up to shoot each other anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody has a
game.
Everybody has a planet breaker button where they can launch so many nukes that it fucks the whole planet up. It's it has to come from the inside now. Now it's about tearing a country apart from the inside, and then putting your own people, propping them up inside those governments, so you have control without tons of people dying. Which I mean, that's I don't know if that's better or worse either, too.
And maybe unless I'm a fucking psychopath, you know, if I was in a position of massive power, I had access to nukes like that. I feel like my first thought of okay, if I were to nuke a country and everything, that would be not worth it even if I successfully did it, because the amount of bullshit you have to deal with afterwards if you're wanting to, if you're trying to just die and say fuck the world and then sure. But if you're trying to continue whatever legacy you have that got you to the power of that gave you the ability to push that button, that's so much fucking shit to now have to deal with to try and make sure everything's cool. That sounds like a huge fucking burden, dude. Hell no.
I would go down in the history books as evil if I had that kind of power for sure. But I wouldn't use nukes.
No.
I would black out cities with an EMP and then send in people to just wipe through it.
See, even that,
I would do it quietly without ruining the planet. I would just literally, it would be I would take, I would go to your town, I would go to your city with, we're going to know your population and we'll send a force that's big enough to deal with that population. And just, we EMP the whole fucking thing. Lights out.
Yeah.
Lights out. Fucking 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Sorry. Good night. Darkness.
Yeah.
And then just fucking airdrops of just men with guns.
Yeah.
And fucking men and women and trans and
down, dude.
Men, and fucking monkeys that we've trained to hold the guns forward and only shoot.
Dude,
we got cybernetic dogs, robots. You know what I'm saying? We're just we're sending in anything.
Avengers fucking fly down and shit.
Anything that can hold a pistol or a rifle is coming down from the sky. All the prisoners are coming down. You know what I'm saying? All the mentally handicapped, everybody who...
Oh, man. That's not very fair.
Their own volition, you know?
I guess. If they volunteer, I guess.
They have big fucking smiley face parachutes.
That makes them like a target. That's fucked.
Their guns are all painted and shit, fucking highlighter colors. They don't even have real bullets. They got rubber bullets.
Oh, man.
Dude, you got fucking 1,500 Down syndrome kids with rubber bullets.
Yeah, they think they're in a VR game or something.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wait, no. That'd be terrifying, though, because...
they'd be shooting each other out of spite.
Well, no, I feel like I'd be, trying to figure out where formations would be, you know?
Oh, no, you got to drop them off by themselves. You can't drop them off with regulars.
I was saying, because you would, the war, while it's crazy, there is some sort of a system going on, you know?
Well, here's the thing, bro. You drop in 200 inmates.
I guess if you're chaos, it doesn't really matter.
You drop in 200 inmates and 150 DS kids.
Yeah.
All the DS kids got rubber bullets. All the inmates have swords. And you hopefully they build a team together where the DS kids fucking stun them with the rubber bullet, and then the inmate comes in with the sword and finishes them off.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
and then now you've got 1,500 Robin Big combinations where you've got these just fucking murderous inmates with their now best friend Down syndrome 14 to 16-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're going to follow each other after war. They're going to be at the VA together until they're old and dead. And I think that that's beautiful.
I for some, and I love the idea of like all of the inmates just being pure chaos, and all of the Down syndrome kids are like in a perfect unit and shit, and they're like have formation and shit, you know, like volley.
Yeah. I think that'd be almost chaos. I think the first
just the image is hilarious.
I think that they'd all be like lined up together, but then a gunshot go off and they just scatter. You know, like they just go all sorts of different ways.
Oh my god! I mean, I think like anybody would just fucking scatter in general, unless they're there for blood.
Yeah,
hell yeah, a little bit different.
And then so one inmate finds one DS kid, and they just become like best friends in war.
Yeah,
you know, what I'm saying?
Back to back, man.
Yeah, and then if you do have like a battle buddy, if one finds the other, and you guys can keep it together, when you if you can survive, then we'll get you like a nice apartment together.
Yeah, what's that one movie with Shia LaBeouf and
where he's handicapped?
No. It's that movie where it's Shia LaBeouf and I can't remember the other actor. He's a Down syndrome guy.
Oh Jesus! Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah, I hear that was not only a great ass movie, but that I feel like that would be appropriate to put them in the battlefield. Dude.
Yeah,
they already have the synergy. You know,
all you gotta do is put Shia LaBeouf in a fucking orange jumpsuit. Yeah. And he'll be fine.
He's been there.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, dude. They'd be super efficient, man.
Yeah. and I think that's just like an adequate use for him because, I mean, what else are they doing, bro? What are they doing? I've delivered pizzas to like adult daycare centers for mentally ill people.
Yeah,
and
like people who need like assistance.
Yeah, they're just coloring and shit. They're bored. They don't want to be there either. Like nobody's like. I mean, they might be having some fun activities whatsoever, but for the most part, they're just kind of chilling. You know, sitting in the AC all day. Give them a rubber bullets and fucking.
They give them something to do at least in general.
So I mean, I'm just saying, like, if I had the power to, or if I was in charge, I'd be fucking ruthless. But I wouldn't use nukes. I would utilize all of these like death row inmates and handicapped kids that we're not using.
See, even then, like if because you're still talking about like more or less genocide of another country.
Oh, we're talking about genocide. Yeah. I didn't say I wasn't going to be genocidal.
So you're definitely doing the whole country more or less.
You don't do the whole country. You kill enough and then
half the country.
Yeah,
quarter of the country.
Just the men.
You
just kill the men.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill all the women. You don't have to kill all the children either. You just kill all the men. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're overpopulated.
Yeah, we are. Well, sort of. That's another conversation entirely.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, definitely. I don't know. I think still with being in a position of power.
Yeah.
And you do a big move like that of genocide. You know. It's still like if you're trying to keep power afterwards and maintain stability, it still sounds like a fucking tall order afterwards.
It's true, but
because now either the whole world's on you now, they have eyes on you, or you find some elaborate scheme to somehow make that not seem like you did it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's fucking wild.
Brazil's been getting away with genocide for like 100 years.
Yeah, but it's not their own country.
That's true.
It's kind of different. It's like it's in their own walls. It's fucked. Don't get me wrong.
But at the adverse though, in America, if an American leader was killing Americans, we wouldn't have that shit.
Yeah, well, because we're all obnoxiously vocal with our media.
Damn right.
So
yeah,
on both sides,
Hell yeah.
Especially because now you only get what you want to see on both sides now. People think it's like, oh, it's like, well, that's fine because I'm a Democrat, so I want to see Democrat shit. I'm like, yeah, but you also see Democrat propaganda that puts negative light on Republicans on purpose, and they only see that. Vice versa, also, they only see the negative light of like Democrat like media.
Like you're not hearing any of the good whatsoever.
Yeah, you're because that's how internet works. It's the funnel system.
Yeah.
So it's. Americans definitely are a lot more obnoxiously vocal about the opinions they think are 100% right all the time.
Hell yeah. But that's because this is the best place in the world to live.
Yeah, it's one of them.
You gotta
for sure.
think about it. That's like an adverse effect
Mm-hmm.
of being in the best place in the world to live.
Mm-hmm.
Is you start nitpicking.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, that's true.
When your
There's
country
definitely
has
harder problems that we could be dealing with.
when your
for sure,
country
but-
has real problems, your people experience those problems.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
When your country has no problems,
Mhm.
people need chaos.
Mhm.
People need something to be upset about.
Yeah.
It's just balance. It's how it is. It's not that people suck. It's you need something to be mad at. You know what I'm saying?
outrage shit.
You
for
have
sure.
to have all of your emotions happen. You know?
Yeah.
You need love.
That's so wild.
You need to laugh.
It
You
sounds
need
so
to be
exhausting.
mad. Yeah. But so I mean, like, no matter what, people need something to be mad. So when people are mad at little bullshit,
Mhm.
I mean, it's fucking great here.
Yeah.
You know? It means we're killing it.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying?
true.
Like, there's so many other places
There
you
could
could
be way worse shit.
Yeah. I mean, people like looking at like Norway or Sweden because
Smaller
they
countries,
don't
though.
participate in war. But their shit's fucked up too. Norway hates Sweden.
Yeah.
They hate each other. They fucked each other over.
Yeah.
They like one like abandoned the other over oil
Yeah.
or something like that. Set the other one up to die.
They've always hated each other since fucking
Yeah.
dawn of time.
And then think about this: if somebody wanted Sweden,
yeah.
they'd take it.
Yeah.
They would just have it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If they wanted
Well-
Norway, they're not going to be. They don't have a military to take it.
Yeah. You know, they could if somebody wanted to again, but I feel it's a lot harder to do that nowadays
Because
you
of the paperwork.
well, and the UN and shit,
Yeah.
and how the world politics works
Yeah,
now.
but I'm saying
you
like
know?
physically, if you just
But yeah, if somebody wanted to go to war and just
Yeah.
steamroll, you
Yeah.
know, yeah,
You know,
100%.
like there's countries that aren't part of the UN.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? They'd have to deal with the UN. They'd definitely be meeting them
right
afterwards.
yeah, yeah.
But
yeah,
if
yeah.
they just wanted to fly in, they could probably just take that
Mhm.
fucking land and then deal with it afterwards.
yeah, and it's
If you're gonna give it back if none of the people exist anymore, that's
is
fine.
it Norway or Sweden? Maybe it's both. That is known for its like really hilly, mountainy terrain.
Oh, Norway.
Is it Norway?
Norway. Oh no,
I was thinking
Sweden has
might
the
also
Swiss
do-
Alps.
Yeah, I think it's both of them.
Norway's
the whole
kind of
area.
like Norway has a big island in it as well for Oslo, but I'd
Right.
say they're both hilly. But Swiss Alps
Mhm.
would be hilly as fuck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I'd say Switzerland.
Yeah, it's different now, right? Because military tactics, long time ago, like having that kind of terrain was like
A huge
amazing.
advantage.
You know, yeah, it was so difficult.
That's
for
what
people
kept
who
Russia
didn't
alive.
have- yeah, it was so difficult for people to invade
Yeah.
back then, just because you weren't familiar with the terrain. It was harsher.
Yeah.
The Norwegians and the Swiss were much more adept at their environment. You know, it just it was never really worth it. I feel like back then.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and now.
Oh
It's
man.
much because we have aircraft, artillery. It's so much easier now.
And then if you were to like obliterate a country's population, like 100%.
yeah.
We're just throwing out hypotheticals.
I mean, we've
here.
already been kind of talking about this.
We're just throwing
already,
out
so-
hypotheticals here.
Yeah, I know. It's just like fucking hell.
But let's say Norway has it with fucking Switzerland,
Sure.
and they wipe out 100% of Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just all the people, and then tons of infrastructure. You know, I think when Germany marched through Belarus, they took out 25% of the infrastructure completely.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
just fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's nobody left, who do you give that land back to when the UN comes to claim it? Does the UN claim that land?
Yeah, I don't know.
Does that absolved? Is that voted upon? What country gets
Yeah.
that land?
If you were
Is it Norway's land because they won a war?
If you were somehow able to wipe clean, even smaller countries would take some time
Yeah.
without nuking, because then the land's not usable for a long
Yeah.
while. I'd be impressed that you got away with it for so long before somebody finally noticed somehow.
Well,
Like,
okay, let's say
but-
let's say if Russia wanted to take Switzerland,
right?
I don't think that'd be very hard for that country
No,
to do.
they'd have to go
quickly.
full force quick, but without somebody noticing would be pretty difficult. You know, for sure.
Yeah.
But to the point, definitely, if you pulled that off and the UN came by and they somehow had to claim it, because there's no people left that are from that country to claim it at all. We're saying like completely the entire, I guess, bloodline, if you will. It's the wrong
even
word,
if you
but-
brought it down to 100
you know.
fucking people, what are they going to do with it?
I mean, they'd still give it because they're the rightful quote unquote owners. I feel like the UN probably would give it to them still.
Okay,
You know,
but nobody.
But I feel like if it was like a perfect quote unquote world,
Uh-huh.
they'd give it to the 100 people that survived. But I also think that like the borders would start to get looser because the countries around them would probably bleed into it a little bit over time.
Yeah.
Because again, to your point, 100 people is going to take a long time to repopulate even a small country. You know.
Yeah.
So it borderlines probably would getting pushed in on them quite a bit, to a degree.
Just shrink them quite a bit.
Even if it wasn't like, hey, sorry, we're taking more of your land, it'd probably be just kind of, sorry, we just settled close. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
you don't need this land. So,
the only survivors are in the north end of the country.
Yeah, I just feel like humans are more likely to do that if they can get away with it, because it's easier than doing, like, at least for most people, I feel like it's easier than just having to go through the leaps and bounds of conflict and arguing and blah, blah, blah. If you could just kind of like shadily kind of squeeze your way into where you want to over time.
Yeah. But then what if nobody survived it?
If nobody survived, I don't know. Because,
like, do you go by, I guess you could find the people who were born there. But you're not giving a country to a person. That's crazy as well.
No, that sounds psychotic.
You wouldn't just like find Fred, who was born in Switzerland and then moved to Germany, was fucking 19.
Right.
And then say, here's your whole country.
Yeah, no.
Like
with
that
you
would
and
be
other people that you don't know.
That you left.
Figure it out.
That you didn't even like.
Yeah.
That you fucking left.
Yeah, dude.
You moved away from. Come back and claim.
I couldn't do it.
Come back and claim your country. You're the president.
Yeah. Like I would plenty of people would be like, I'd be totally into that. But I'm like, like that's also implying that there's more people also moved away from that country. So
can you
now
imagine
a council of not politicians probably?
Yeah.
Can
you imagine if some like tiny ass country like Fongafal, it's got like a population of like 200 fucking people, the whole country gets blown out, and then there's one dude in like fucking New Zealand who lives there. And then like the U.S. government, like our UN plane helicopter drops in his fucking bamboo hut front yard and picks him up, and like just guys in suits, and they don't say anything to him. And then they get all the way to Fongafal again. He's like, why am I here? Where are all the people? He's like, this is all yours now. There's nobody left. I was like, well, what do I do? I don't know, dude. Be a fucking king, dictator, president, pope, shaman, something. Whatever you want. Pick a title and start from there, I guess.
Farmer. Fuck off.
Can you helicopter me and a woman? We can't do things like that. That's kind of fucked up. You give me a phone or something like Tinder? Like, how am I supposed to? Well, no, this is your country. Somebody has to claim it. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you.
It's either that or fucking the Tongufalu or whatever, the other island that bombed you guys out gets to take it. That's not fair.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know, man. Like that would be really weird. Like if there's not enough people to even, how many people do you need to form a government? Can you have a one-person government? Sealand's like 3 people, I think.
I mean, I guess technically you can have a government for your country. But are you just one motherfucker that owns Switzerland though now? Like that's yours?
Yeah, like it's like basically your yard?
If you legally own all of Switzerland, I mean, yeah.
If you're the only dude alive.
Do what the fuck you want with it.
Right? Whole country gets blown out, you're the only one alive somehow?
Yeah. I wouldn't say...
It's just
maybe.
It's like your yard.
I don't know how politics works.
You have to show up to the UN meetings yourself.
We should get somebody who's in political science on the show.
That'd be fun.
Kind of pick their brain about how the actual UN really works, and how they make these kind of decisions.
It's a lot of eyes wide shut.
I'm sure we could do research ourselves, but that's not fun.
Well, I mean, I give you the base how the UN works because I did all UN in high school and at DVC. But
I don't give a fuck about politics for the most part.
This is what these motherfuckers do. All right, so they show up and they get their topic right, and every country has a certain amount of representatives to go to these meetings. You're gonna have like your Security Council, which is where they're talking about like war and shit.
Yeah.
Your Environmental Council, your Human Rights Council, there's just gonna be a couple subsects, and then each country has their representatives that are knowledgeable on that subsect to go represent the country, right? And then when you get there, the issue is explained. And then you're allowed to make pitches one at a time for a few minutes. So you get like 3 to 5 minutes to make a quick pitch on what your country thinks is the best idea to handle this situation. And then after a certain amount of people get to pitch to each other, then they have these unmoderated caucuses where people are allowed to kind of get up and talk amongst themselves and spread ideas to try to create resolutions. And then you need enough people to press on a resolution forward to where it can get voted on, where it's worthy. If you got like 5 countries with you, you're gonna bring that to the board, and everyone's gonna tell you to go fuck yourself. So you want to kind of build your argument or solution big enough amongst all the other representatives from the other countries, kind of giving them what they want as well,
right?
To where now you can bring it to a vote. So everybody sits back in their stupid fucking chairs with their little placard that says whatever country they're from, and their translator box with the headphones. And they vote on this shit. And then, like, there's 7 countries that have a veto power. So it's like France, Britain, Russia, America, China, and 2 other big assholes. I can't remember who it are. It's definitely not like Canada or nothing stupid like that. But yeah, so there's like 7 major veto powers, and they can just tell you, fuck you.
Right.
You can have like 100 countries on your side, and then Russia could be like, no. So that's why nothing gets done.
That's irritating.
Yeah, so that's why the UN's it's just kind of a loop-de-loop shithole of all these countries getting together and being like, I really think the problem to this war would be to settle it this way. And everybody's like, yeah, it's a really good idea. And then last minute, China's like, I'm not feeling that, honestly. Like, I'm going to go ahead and veto that. And then you go back to your bullshit again. You do the
all in a big circle, because it has to be like a unanimous, more or less, kind of.
Yeah. So I mean, I would imagine they would literally, it would be on the board. It'd probably be in the Security Council, because that's kind of like the most intense. That's like the A group. You know what I'm saying? So it'd probably be a Security Council decision where they'd go. This country was blasted out, and then all these countries would have to come together and be like, what do we do with it? And then some ass America would be like, no. And then they'd bring another one. France would be like, no. And they'd be like, why does France get a veto power?
So it'd probably sit for a long fucking time.
Yeah, it does.
That's where I was leaning for, honestly, as far as like what the land would do, end up.
It would be, it would be debated
in
in council for a long ass time.
So
until somebody can figure it out. So yeah, I don't know.
By then, people would just start fucking settling in it.
You know what I'm saying? People do that here in houses when they get foreclosed.
Yeah, squatting and shit.
Yeah. You think people aren't going to do that in countries?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that would happen immediately. Like, you got a whole country that nobody's really looking after because it's being filed for fucking paperwork right now. What's the UN going to put bases on it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
seriously.
And then
you're
that
defend the land until somebody finally takes it.
Yeah, and you're going to spend hella money building all these fucking forts and stuff, and then are you going to leave them when you give these people back their country, or now does the UN have their own?
I was going to say, like, that's going into sketchy territory. If the UN specifically have their own like lands, like countries worth of like, albeit small, but a country's
Forts
worth
and
of
shit.
like military, and stuff, you're I don't know. There's something about that doesn't sit right,
Yeah. Well, eventually it's going to be like Google's going to have a military.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's going to be the Amazon military.
I'm sure they have a military of fucking hackers and fucking, like technological advances as far as like takedowns go.
Yeah.
Facebook too.
Fuck.
Honestly.
Well, so I mean, I guess the moral of the story is Black Tie CBD's Delta 8's probably really good.
Was that still? We closed. We
didn't.
I was like, damn, am I that high right now?
No.
Holy fuck.
No, that was all off of the pigeon racing shit.
Yeah. Well,
so we got a voicemail here. We're already an hour 7 into this.
Yeah.
We got a voicemail here from somebody who might be Mike, but I don't think it is.
All right, man. I was thinking about hair.
Or lack thereof.
And if you think about it, like you actually sit down and think about hair and just like look at somebody with hair, it's a pretty wild thing to fucking think about. Like, it's basically this. What is it? First of all, what is hair even made of? Okay, so you look at somebody and they have
dead
hair.
Skin.
This is like some sort of growth growing out of a hole in their fucking skin. Okay.
Yeah.
This is body plants. Their hair. They're person plants. I don't know what it is, but like there's something about it where like, it's kind of gross. It's sexy and gross. It's what the fuck is hair?
And gross? Yeah.
And what is our obsession with it? And why is it so disgusting when a woman doesn't shave her armpits, when a woman doesn't shave her legs? I find it absolutely terrifying, but it's still why. I don't know why.
So there's a lot of shit in there.
For starters, hair is keratin, made of keratin.
Yes.
By the internet. And also, secondly, at least from my point of view, yeah, hair's kind of fucking creepy when you think about it. Especially when, remember when you, I don't know if you had this phrase said to you when you were in middle school, but some teachers would always say that you like wants to be so quiet during like SSR reading or shit like that, like private like reading and shit. You know, that it has to be so quiet in the room that you should be able to hear your hair growing, that kind of shit.
Yeah,
you know?
I've heard that before.
I don't know. Yeah. So, but that's an actual thing. Is like technically your hair is actively growing.
Yeah.
You know, at all times. So it's like slowly like you imagine like a toothpaste tube just slowly being squeezed. You know, that's pretty much what your hair is doing, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
But I always heard that hair was just like dead skin that was growing out of us or something like that. But so first of all, this is really sad here. The second mention here, people also ask, do hair have bones?
What the fuck? Oh yeah, I didn't even read that on the Google. What?
People also ask, what is a hair keratin made of?
It's protein. It's protein.
Yeah, and then second, do hair have bones?
No.
And then third, is hair just protein?
Yes.
And fourth, is hair a living cell?
No.
No.
And the bulb, which is the base of your head, you know, where your follicles and everything, that is comprised of living cells, according to the interwebs.
Ew.
But that makes sense because that's where everything's growing from.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's a follicle that anchors each hair into the skin. The hair bulb forms the base of the hair follicle. In the hair bulb, living cells divide and grow to build the hair shaft.
Yeah.
So it's like little dicks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tons of little dicks.
They're like little tiny. Imagine like flower bud bulbs at in the actual pores of your head, I guess, you know.
That's gross.
And it's like down in there.
Yeah.
And at the very bottom of that there's nerves that connect to that little bulb that, you know, is the active hair growth and shit. And
that's interesting.
Everything else, you know.
I wonder.
Because we're all wired, bruh. So technically your hair, until it falls off and dies at the end, you know, like a plant, I guess. You know, you could think these are our leaves, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting to think about. The bulb is like technically your hair is technically connected all the way into your body because your nerves is connected to the rest of your system. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's like, yeah, it is kind of weird to think about when you really like process what's happening with the connection of your hair to your body. You know,
yeah.
And it's a little weird. I kind of agree. You know, especially because like I remember when I was like, in middle school.
Yeah.
And I was asking my teacher because we're learning, it was like sex ed, and we're learning about like hair growth for men and shit and stuff, and like facial fucking hair and shit. And I remember asking her, why do we have eyebrows then? If like nose hairs and eye hairs are to protect shit from getting into our eyes and our nose and stuff, and I guess you could argue beard is for like your face. For something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But eyebrows are on your forehead. Yeah. You know, like they're above your eyes. You already have protection with your eyelashes. What are eyebrows? Fucking why do we have eyebrows? You know?
I don't know.
Like,
yeah, that's a good one.
You know, like it's hair, just like that guy who sounded a lot like Mike.
Well, also,
you know,
why do people get armpit hair? What's the point of that? What's that helping?
I don't know.
Because I don't really grow armpit hair.
I wonder from just evolution from like rubbing your arms together over time, you know, that provides some sort of like not to get, you know, something cushiony or like soft so you don't get irritated from rubbing skin on skin all the time or something.
I could see that.
Like maybe an evolutionary trait or some shit.
I don't know, because like I just almost pretty much don't grow it for the most part.
You have some though.
I have some, but like fucking barely.
Yeah, still some.
Like some people have, you know, most people have like a lot of armpit hair.
Yeah, I mean we can look it up for sure, but I mean my mind goes to maybe potentially some sort of evolutionary trait, because everywhere else in our bodies for the most part doesn't grow hair as much, you know, unless you're
but it all
like
grows
a
up,
fucking ape, you know.
Yeah,
so
like
I know
Bubbles. Bubbles is a fucking ape, dude.
One of the boys I used to live with, man, he's cousin It just hopping in the fucking
oh yeah, no, Bubbles,
pool, dude.
Bubbles is full gorilla, dude. Like I gave him a haircut yesterday, and like I lined up his neck and everything like that, and like his necklace is like this line between light and dark as far as how much fucking hairs on that animal.
Dude, man.
But he's balding,
what a beast.
which is just so strange as well.
Yeah, dude.
Why does he grow that much body hair all over, but not on top of his head?
I don't know.
Because that happens to people all the time.
Also genetics, I guess.
You know, Mike can grow a big beard.
Science. The answer is science.
Yeah, but it's like Mike can grow a big beard on his face.
Yeah.
Can't grow any hair up top.
Mhm.
I can't. I grow.
Yeah.
I have my hair grows like it's thick. It's fucking.
Yeah,
it's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
I can't really grow facial
it's
hair.
just genetics then. Yeah, at that point, huh?
Yeah, and if a nerve is connected to everywhere, is there just spots where they aren't?
Yeah, I don't know. It's because like it's weird. Like, so could you argue what are the most frequent spots on the body that hair grows across the populace?
Yeah,
right.
the gunt.
Legs. The gunt,
Yeah,
legs
yeah.
for sure, because females also get hair on their legs.
Yeah.
They don't get hair on their bellies like we do.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit,
no.
you know, and on
Well,
their chests very
Not a lot.
not very often,
Yeah.
very significantly less.
Yes.
You know, and comparatively to men, right?
Yeah.
And that's just
Because women get
testosterone
facial
thing,
hair
right?
too, but like it's like
Mhm.
very tiny.
Yeah, just because testosterone is what causes hair to grow. I think, right?
Yeah, and everybody has
Um,
at least some.
Yeah, and also how your body processes it and uses it also is different from person to person.
Yeah.
But armpits is a extremely common thing for all humans across the board. Armpit hair, not just armpits.
Yeah.
Duh armpits, but armpit hair. So I almost feel like there was a need for it at some point as we evolved. I'm not sure. I mean, again, I'm just throwing darts in the dark.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But and then maybe facial hair is pretty common still. You know, again, females still get some hair on their like fuzz on their lip every now and then, and
Yeah.
the sides of their face. Some get more, some get none at all.
Yeah.
You know, men typically usually get more fuzz commonly. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So like there's certain parts on the body. Obviously, everyone has most everybody has hair to some degree or had hair. You
Yeah,
know,
at one point at least.
on their head.
Everybody
but-
pretty much has eyebrows.
Yeah, and then not you can't really argue that everybody always has ass hair. You know,
No.
a lot of people don't.
No.
You know, enough people do have plenty of ass hair.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
but. Yeah, man, armpit hair is such a weird thing because I don't know what it's for, but it's clearly almost every single person in the world has armpit hair at some point,
at
or to
least
some degree.
At
you
least
know?
some. Yeah, yeah.
So I wonder if there's some reason for it.
Yeah.
You know, like
And then his last thing in there was like, why do we not like when, women have it in their armpits or on their legs?
oh yeah,
I think that's just our culture.
Yeah.
And
I think it's an American thing.
and I am a
actually.
proud American and sponsor of that culture.
Yeah,
Fuck that, dude. I don't.
we're just conditioned for it.
It's that's how we were raised, and one I think it's the exact opposite of us, so therefore it's better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Our legs are hairy. I don't want your legs to be hairy.
Yeah. Well,
You know? Also there's smell associated with armpit hair. Like
Yeah.
almost always, you can fucking go ahead and grab the paint bucket and a thick brush and put the fucking deodorant on with lather, but if you have enough armpit hair, it's still
Doesn't
fucking
matter.
gross.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Yeah, and if it doesn't smell, then it's probably got like fucking reverse bulb follicles all over it from all the fucking used up gross deodorant that's
the
balling up
caked
at the
on
end of it.
shit.
Yeah,
and, ugh.
it's just a
Yeah.
bad look.
Yeah,
And
man.
then if it's either it smells or it's just like it's just I
Yeah.
don't want to see it.
Well, yeah, it's the creation of the feminine persona. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like the need to be female versus male. Cause
Yeah.
that's just how they made it in the fucking American culture. Like especially in like the early 1900s. I guess mid 1900s when media became really prominent in
Yeah.
marketing. You know, because that's when they could just go full throttle on that shit. You know,
That's true.
So
But I mean,
it's very much.
how
just-
about? But let me throw this out there: who's worse? Us saying, shave your armpits and your legs,
Mm.
or Muslims saying, I don't want to see anything but your fucking eyes or I'll light you on fire.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like-
100%. You know?
Like, are we that bad?
Yeah,
that,
yeah, no.
that we have a preference sexually? I mean, some
No.
dudes don't give a fuck.
Everyone's allowed
There's
to have
a-
preference.
The Bush generation is coming back up where people are into bushes.
Mm-hmm.
Not George Bush, but fucking like
Yeah, yeah.
Puss Bush
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fucking
Uh-huh.
Dick Bush and stuff. Like,
Right.
there's
right.
people who are getting into that again.
70s
So, I mean,
stat, man.
there's people
Yeah.
who like people with fucking armpit hair. Everybody's got their preference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So you got to find somebody who kind of matches up to it or is willing to adjust a little.
Yeah, man. No, I don't give a shit either way. I think I definitely prefer shaved down. Like if the lady had like fuzz on her and everything, it's on her legs. I'm not gonna go like gross.
I do that sometimes. It's sharp. They got weird fucking their leg hair is like cat tongues.
Yeah, because it's
hooked.
It's like when we shave our faces.
It's hooked
and shit,
the wrong way. Yeah, it's all fucking violent.
Yeah, it's when we shave our faces, we get the stubble. It's like stubble on the legs. The same.
Well,
thing.
even if it's grown out, it's like sharp. It's like their leg hair is like different than ours.
I don't know. My beard does the same thing. When I shave it all the way down, it grows out pretty sharp. At first.
Okay,
then it dulls out over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But then so the alternative, it's not gonna be sharp if they've got a whole forest on their legs.
Yeah.
But if you got a whole forest on your legs, I'm not putting them up on my shoulders. That's fucking terrifying. No. All right. That's guys. God damn it.
Oh my god.
Shave your fucking legs. All right, it's not that bad.
God. Yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong for sure. Yeah, I mean, again, my preference, obviously, I like it shaved down if possible. I'm not gonna have a meltdown for it.
Yeah,
but yeah, that is where the pure disgust of not shaving legs is just is born from. The creation of the feminine persona, really. That's pretty much where it came from. It's fine. That's your preference. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's nature.
Yeah, fuck whatever you want to fuck, bro.
Everybody's doing mating calls. Okay, it's all who you want to mate with, and you're being comfortable in your body.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you prefer being shaven down and hooking up with people that prefer being shaven down and such, then you find each other.
I wonder if there's people that are like obsessed with. Like you have to be like not a speck of hair. Like
I'm sure,
anywhere,
dude. I'm sure if you were like a rock star and you're getting puss thrown at you all day, like hundreds at a time.
Yeah, your standard probably is extremely fucking high,
dude.
For fucking sure.
Can you imagine having a vending machine?
To it.
Imagine having a vending machine for pussy.
Yeah,
where literally 100.
Like shopping.
Imagine, because if you were a 19-year-old, okay, imagine you were on Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Imagine you were an early 20s, child, still kind of,
still developing,
who's
mentally.
really good at music and traveling to every city in the world every night.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing like 300 shows in like 365 days, and at each one of those shows, minimum 50 to 20 women want to fuck you. That you're gonna come in contact with.
Yeah.
In the stadium, hundreds of thousands of women want to fuck you.
Yeah.
But
given the opportunity,
but
100%.
In front of you that night, at least 15 to 20 that want to have sex with you are gonna be in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different like. You're like, I want that one. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Like,
it's a different kind of fucking power for sure.
Shit. I mean, have you been seeing the Marilyn Manson shit? Mm-hmm. He's getting in a lot of trouble for the way he's been treating all of his exes.
Oh, really?
He's also the Lord of Darkness, so I mean, I think it's not that weird.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, he was fucking wild, dude.
Yeah,
he was a wild boy, Marilyn Manson, and he's getting in a lot of trouble. Where are we? I think we're coming up at the end. We got to start the Black Tie CBD ad. No, all right, we got 8 minutes.
Yeah, damn. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, we definitely like go on tangents a lot more than we normally did, for sure.
Yeah, this one was fun. I definitely think every culture probably has their own thing when it comes to that. When 100%. It comes to the hair thing, 100%. But I don't think it's necessarily bad that people do that. I mean, like.
There are people who will have a whole be just upset is the word for it,
Yeah.
They'll like rally behind it, as far as like, oh, like let women fucking not have to shave. It's like, then don't shave.
Oh, yeah, don't shave.
Whatever.
I'm not gonna fuck you.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's like, I'm not gonna hate you if you don't shave, I'm
not even single.
I'm not gonna be interested really as much,
It really only matters if I'm trying to have sex with you.
Yeah, really,
It literally comes down to that,
Yeah.
Like, there's people that, women that we know very closely that won't shave.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I'm not trying to fuck them.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Girl power. Okay,
Yeah,
good for you. Don't shave your fucking armpits. Braid them. I don't care. I don't care. Like, It's fine.
Oh, that would be such a power move. Can you imagine?
Oh, dude, they
some
should be braiding
female
them.
that comes up and there's like little flower braids and shit,
Yeah.
or even just like they're like leather buckle ring,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Vikings, dude. That'd be damn, bro.
Yeah.
My bad. You know, do you need fucking some whiskey? I got you. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, it only comes down to like whether or not you're trying to hook up with that person, whether
Yeah.
or not that be permanent or a fling or whatever, and like
Yeah.
where everybody has the reason to hook up with them, and for dudes to women through our culture, we've decided to put value in beauty, and for women to men in our culture, we decided to put value in power and growth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be an attractive man to find your woman and fall in love. If you're an ugly woman, you're going to have a harder time.
Yeah.
Because we don't value... Like, here's the thing, bro. You meet a chick and, like, her thing is that she's, like, owned a company or something like that.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. Like, cool.
Oh, as far as, like, sexual, like,
Sexually, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Good for you. You make money. You know what I'm saying? But a chick meets a dude that's done the same thing. Now he's way more of an option. Like, that is valuable to them.
Right.
Because, like, I think it's, like, on a much more instinctual animal level, like, this person can provide. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of how we value it in our country. And, like, I think it's just coming down to when people want to fuck. So it's like, if you don't want to fuck, then don't shave your armpits.
Yeah.
Or find somebody that's cool with it. I don't think it should be like a whole movement.
No.
I don't think that people are evil because they want to or don't want to. I don't think it should make even a difference.
Yeah. I think on both sides, people shouldn't fucking tell people to shave if they don't want to, for one.
Yeah.
And then also, like,
Unless you're fucking them.
I mean, they can request it, but if that
I think
person
you should
says,
be able to request your partner some shit.
Again,
Yeah.
they can request it, but if, like, you can't tell, like, hey, go do your thing, go shave your fucking legs,
Yeah.
you know, you pig or whatever, and then we have sex,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
pig, yeah.
and just like that,
Yeah.
like, obviously, like,
They'll teach you.
okay, that's a little, you know, like,
That's rough. That's
you can
abuse.
tell somebody to do that.
Yeah.
But they can also go tell them to fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Vice versa, you can't also be like flip your lid because somebody says, oh, like, I'm not really into like shaved legs, or I mean unshaved fucking legs and armpits and shit. You know, like like the people who flip out on both sides of the fence. You're just all right. Shut the fuck out. Grow the fuck up. You know,
just don't
like,
have sex with each other.
Yeah, like just why are you making a bit out of this?
Keep it moving.
You know, like yeah, dude. It just it's always, again, I think this ties back into our original conversation, just outrage. There's somebody just wants something, a reason to be upset about some shit. You know?
And if a dude is horny enough, he doesn't give a shit if your legs.
Yeah, that's
All right.
true. That's
All right.
fucking true. When the rage is on, dude.
You hold out long enough,
Yeah.
he's not gonna give
Yeah.
a fuck
Yeah.
anymore.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really matter. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's a preference thing in the moment, but if that motherfucker really wants to be with you or is horny enough, he's gonna blow right past it. And then he's gonna come and he's gonna look at your hairy armpits and he's gonna feel gross.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna follow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gonna be shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah. Or just feel awkward about it, you know, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like-
you didn't have to deal with that. You've been with the fiance your whole life.
That's true.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
just been coming and feeling shame.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, now
Yeah.
I'm finally like with somebody and like I don't have to feel bad after I have sex, which is nice. But
yeah.
there was definitely a lot of times between like 18 and 25 where I was like, shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, right. You're
I
just
shouldn't
like,
have
this
done
was
that.
not worth it.
Yeah, I didn't like
it's
that.
the post-nut clarity. That's
Yeah,
what people
it's
call
a
it.
very
Yeah,
real
yeah.
thing, dude. You get
Mhm.
tunnel vision. You will literally say, I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Yep.
And then as soon as you come, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, the hormones are a fucking bitch.
Yeah, they're
You know?
real and we're
Yeah.
young. Our
They're
bodies are telling us to
irritating.
fuck right now.
And they're irritating a lot of the time.
This
Because
is
like we had an episode where we talked about like where it'd be inopportune times, you know. It'll just be like, fuck, dude, like I'm trying to work right now, but I'm suddenly just fucking hella horny out of fucking nowhere.
Pull up to the bank
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're thinking about pussy that you got.
Yeah,
once.
dude, exactly. Yeah, you're just like, what the? I'm just trying to do my chores.
It's like, this isn't the time for this.
I'm doing my errands. Stop,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, and you could literally tell your brain, don't think about that, and you'll still do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the male fucking hormones. And
That's just how it fucking goes, and it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, dude. It's ayo.
There we go.
It's a beautiful thing, but sometimes like when you're trying to adult, it's just like it's so irritating.
Yeah.
Just like right now, really.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, this is like we're in prime fucking years.
Yeah.
This is like probably like the best spurt of years to like have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Probably in the next like 7.
They say by like 32 is probably the latest you should wait, which is just like
I don't know about all that, bro. I'll make an autistic kid if I have enough money. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's because it's like the whole. I think it's females' eggs start to become less likely to be healthy or something. I think male sperm's good for a long while for the most part.
I think ours lasts longer. Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard it was 40 is when you start knocking on the door of autism and shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was when it becomes an issue, but I think egg deterioration at 32 is when it starts. I don't think it's like like it's not like leagues where it's like tiers. Like, all right, 32, fucking, you're fucked. No, 33, oh, you're doubly fucked. It's not like that. But I believe that's when it starts to become. You see issues starting to form. Is after 32. And I only know this because Jess gives me shit all the time about it. Like, when are we gonna have kids? I'm like, never, never.
But then if you also think about it, who's perfect? Nobody's fucked. Nobody is, right? Everybody had something wrong with them. It doesn't really, the older your parents get, the more chances are it's gonna be fucked up. But everybody's got something wrong with them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know anybody that doesn't have a single thing wrong with them. If it was not genetic, at least psychologically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with some
you always
issue.
Everybody has an Achilles heel. Yeah. So whenever you have a child, there's going to be a risk of a fuck up. You know what I'm saying? It might not even have the fucking thing. You know? Like it might come out triple retarded and you're only 26.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you haven't really usually found yourself yet.
You gotta strap it up.
Then,
yeah, you gotta fucking strap it up with its fucking rubber bullet gun and send it off with this inmate to go take down Norway. Like, I don't want to have one of those. Dude. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's.
I just hope his inmate's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I hope we can get along, be friends. Maybe. He needs somebody to protect him.
All right, man. Well, fuck, man. We're at 90 minutes already. This one's we gotta wrap it up here.
Yeah. Sometimes these shows I feel like should be longer, but at the same time, we
got 2 more shows to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. So go check out City Bumpkins. Go follow all the social medias. thicknessintheshine.com, Thickness in the Shine, Thick and Shiny. Google it. We have the whole first page. And City Bumpkins, there's been other shows that didn't survive, so we need to push them out of the algorithm. So please start Googling it, liking on it, subscribing on it, commenting on it. Even if you could just comment John is fat, and like it's going to push us through the algorithm. Thickness in the Shine, it's called SEO, motherfucker. We were really good at that bitch. That's a great name. It was unique. City Bumpkins, we're going to have to fight for that Google spot. So
yes, sir.
Start pushing it, motherfuckers, and have a wonderful night.